Hey, it's Kent Jones with Jones and Associates PC in Cleveland, Tennessee. We cover Hamilton County, Bradley County, McMinn County, Polk County, Marion County, and we go outside those areas on an as-needed basis occasionally. Today I wanted to talk to you about why you shouldn't use PayPal to do credit card transactions for legal services. I believe that I started my merchant account with PayPal about 6 or 7 years ago. For a few years I really didn't do anything with it at all. Later on I attached my bank accounts to it, and it was pretty easy to transfer money back and forth between bank account and PayPal. Usually it takes a couple of days to get that done. Sometimes a day or less, it just depends. Somewhere midstream with my firm, we started doing a whole lot more credit card transactions, and rather than reinvent the wheel, it was easy for me to just use my account to do that. And I did it for about 3 years without a problem. Essentially what happened was the client would be in my office. We would agree to a fee. I would send them an invoice to their email account on their mobile telephone. They'd send payment, it'd go into my account, and I would transfer it to my bank account, and it was done. Just recently, I think within the last year, maybe two, they came out with the PayPal MasterCard debit card. And what that meant was once the money hit your account, then you could have use of it immediately. The only stipulation was you could only withdraw or charge $400 a day. I don't know why they came up with that figure, but they did. Had a transaction recently. Met with a client twice in the office. I got the documents, handled the transaction, set it up. It was all done. Brought her back into my office, gave the documents to her, and gave her instructions on what to do. Didn't hear anything for a few days, and then I got an email from PayPal. It said, "We have withdrawn all that money from your account." And I'm like, well, great. I wonder why. I hadn't heard from anybody. I think I called my client, got a voicemail, and wrote a letter and never heard anything back. So I went to what's called the Resolution Center on PayPal, and I typed in my complaint. And I said, why did you take my money? Is it an escrow? Was there an investigation? Can you tell me a little bit more about it? So they did investigate it, I guess, themselves personally, and they sent me a letter and said that it was still under review because they were working with her financial institution, but PayPal does not offer seller protection for intangible services. Well, I'm not quite sure that the service was intangible because you could verify it all the way through to everybody that I dealt with. And intangible services, as I looked up the user agreements and contracts, is not really defined that well. Nothing is really defined that well on PayPal. Consumer Affairs has given them a 1-star rating. They've had like over 500 complaints that they based it on. The BBB has given it a consumer review 1-star rating. I think there were 400 and some odd complaints in 2018. I talked to a few other people who I am going to be using for credit card transactions in the future, and they said that's absolutely ridiculous. It's your money, your account. Well, with PayPal, it's not your money in your account, it's their account, and in this case, their money. So they just passed it back on. I don't even think it is an escrow. I hate filing personal lawsuits, so I contacted the regulatory agencies that govern PayPal and other lending institutions or banking institutions or whatever they are. The Office of the Comptroller of Currency is the big one. The Federal Reserve System is the other big one. Things ultimately get passed on to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and there is a Tennessee regulatory agency as well, and the Better Business Bureau. So I'm waiting right now to find out what happens, but even though they don't exclude legal services from seller protection, I'd be very wary of ever accepting a credit card payment for legal services through them again. Now, I don't know anything about like shipping goods or anything like that because I've never done that, but that's what happened. And if you talk to your bank or other people like LawPay, for instance, you'll find out that the process is a lot different. Good talking to you. I hope you have a great day. Bye.